What's up, everybody? It's your girl Jen Jen, and we're here for some beautiful, beautiful vibrations and just keeping it flowing and keeping it grooving. And we are here to celebrate another amazing day to do some really and tremendously great things. I don't know what you're gonna do today, but I hope and pray that whatever you do today, you plan to do something really and truly, resourceful and something that will not just affect your life in a positive way, but the ones around you. Today, we're going to be talking about growth. Growth. Simple, and to some persons, meaningless, but to others, substantial. Now, growth is evident in every single area of our lives, whether through farming or just on a daily basis with just us as individuals. And even, for example, as a farmer, it is imperative that the things that we plant, they grow, because when they grow, we can see that the seeds or the suckers that we have planted are yielding great results. And that is really and truly important. That's the whole reason for you to plant some pumpkin seeds, or you to sow some banana suckers, or for you to sow a plant a jumplum seed, or whatever it is that you plant, you want it to grow. And even rocks grow, believe it or not. Rocks grow. And so if everything around us is growing, if everything around us brings forth growth, then what about us as individuals? What about us as people? We ought as well to grow. And it is very essential that we grow in our spiritual lives, in our emotional lives, in our financial lives, in our physical lives, in our social lives, in every single area of our lives. We ought to grow. Maturity is something that we don't just get overnight. It is something that we grow into. It is something that through experience it comes and it stays with us, and we have to groom it. We have to ensure by the grace of God we water it. We have to ensure that we keep it, because it's not something that you can go to the store and purchase, because if that was the case, most persons would buy it, and some persons would buy all of it, so none would be left for anybody else. And so it is something that comes through experience. It is something that comes through just going through life and learning the lessons as we go by day. And so we ought to ensure that whatever we have learned yesterday, we apply it to today. And today becomes another yesterday, and we apply it to today, and we keep on doing that cycle, because whatever we learn on a particular day, in a particular time, we have to add that to our lives to continue to grow. Because if we don't, then we're going to be dwarfs, and then we're going to be shallow, and then we're going to be, just stagnant. And we don't want to be that. We want to be growing. We want to be adding. We want to be multiplying. We want to be expanding. We want to go 10x and blowing up and all these things. So we have to grow. And growing takes patience. Growing takes waiting. Growing takes correction. Oh, hallelujah. Growing takes rebuking. I feel the spirit. Growing takes motivating yourself. Even when everybody else around you doesn't see the need for you to grow, you have to see the need for you to grow. You have to see the need for you to continuously keep on climbing up the life ladder, no matter what happens. Even if you hold on to a step on the ladder and it breaks with you, you grab on to the next one and you pull yourself back up. Because listen, growth, you have to, I believe the only plant, and if I'm correct, if I'm wrong, I know social media will correct me, I believe the only plant that grows downwards is bamboo. I believe. If I'm wrong, then I stand corrected. Bamboo. I believe it goes down first and then it comes up, right? So apart from that, everything else, when it's growing, it comes up, and you see, you plant a seed in the earth, and once it starts to germinate, and and getting all those things that it needs, once it bursts the ground and it starts to get sunlight, let me tell you, it is going to continuously grow up. It's like Jack and the Beanstalk. It's going to continue to grow. And so as individuals, we have to ensure that we add the essential things to our lives. And also, we ought to take away some toxic things from our lives that will hinder our growth. Because if we do not take away these toxicity, it will stifle us, and it will cause us to be stagnant and shallow, and we will see everything else and everybody else around us growing, and we are continuously being in the same place. So we have to ensure that, just as how it's imperative to add things to our lives for us to grow, it's also imperative for us to take things from our lives in order for us to grow. So the bad energy, the bad people, the negativity, the persons who are just pessimistic, all those different things that causes you to stifle. It's like me having asthma, and being around somebody who smokes, it stifles me, and I want to get away from that. So if I keep putting that into my space, I'm going to stifle, and I'm not going to get the opportunity to grow. So as long as we add the essential things for us to grow as human beings, we will grow. And also, as long as we take away the toxic things in our lives that will hinder our growth, we will grow. We just have to do what is necessary for our growth. We have to do what is important for our growth, because we need to grow. Growing is beautiful, but growing is also painful. Growing is beautiful, but it is also painful. And that is just something that we need to understand. We need to understand that there are a lot of things that is going to want to come, are a lot of things that are going to want to come and stifle us and suffocate us and kill us and want to, poison our roots. But we ought to ensure and understand just how much this growth means to us. Because as I said in the beginning, to some persons it's meaningless. It's trivial. Whether they grow or not, they couldn't really care less. But to some persons, growth, you hold it with their life, because you know how important it is for you to grow. You know what it is that you want to achieve. You know where it is that you're going. You know that it doesn't matter where you're coming from. It's all about where you're going. It's all about the mindset that you have to grow, and decide your mind that comes what may, you're going to grow. I came across some documentaries the other day, and it's about the most dangerous ways for children to go to school. And to be honest with you, when I see the rivers, when I see the jungles, when I see the ice that these kids have to walk through and climb through, and all these different things, I literally sit and cry. To be honest with you, I no joke, I cry, because when I see. And sometimes in Jamaica, all we have is a little rain, and persons don't want to go to school. They don't want to go to work. But when I see the determination of some of these countries, the Philippines, Bolivia, Russia, the remote places on this earth. There is one documentary, I believe it's Siberia, where they don't have running waters because it is so cold. They're so close to the Arctic Circle that they're so cold that they do not have running water, because the pipes would literally just freeze up. They have to go outside in the mornings and chip off blocks of ice, warm it, with wood fire, and that's how they get a little dripping water for kids to have spit baths and brush their teeth and just go to school. They don't have running water, and because of that, they cannot have toilets in their houses. They cannot have that. The devil is a liar. They cannot have those things. And when I see all that, and these kids still put out their utmost best to ensure that they get a good education, that because they want to grow, they don't want to have the same lives as their parents and grandparents and great grandparents. And so it is imperative that we understand that growth is necessary. It is painful, but necessary. Just like when a snake is growing, he sheds skin, and he changes and he, metamorphs, and he continues the life process. So we have to understand as well how much growth means to us and how much we're going to give in order to grow. I hope these words were helpful to you, and I really hope that you have gained something from these words of wisdom. Share it with somebody. And of course, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you have not yet done so, please hit the subscribe button so you never miss another notification, as well as the bell. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. It's Charge Talks with Jan Jan. Turning brokenness into ministries and stories into stepping stones, overcoming mountains and